Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to another Get Ready With Me. Today we are actually doing a Get Ready With Me. It is just going on 10 o'clock in the morning. It is also my last morning with the house all to myself. My mom is coming back from her holiday today, but I won't be here when she gets back. I'm actually going into Toronto today because I am finally going into my friend Candace's studio. I paid for a session with my friend Candace, who is an absolutely wonderful human being and very wonderful photographer and artist, and she just throughout the pandemic has kind of relaunched her studio space and kind of opened it up to other artists in the community as kind of like a rental space, which is very cool. And I believe that I shared Candace's art with you in my video where I was celebrating artistry. I have one of her prints. It's absolutely this beautiful like rose in just like a block of ice. Anyways, it's so pretty. I will insert a picture. It's an absolutely stunning print. She's super talented, and I'm very excited to finally be able to get into the studio with her. We are double vaccinated, the two of us, and it will just be me and her in the studio today. And yeah, I paid for this session. I want to say like January or February 2020, maybe not that early, but it was like before the first lockdown hit, and then obviously pandemic, boom. So here we are, and it's my second last weekday of my summer holiday, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do something for myself, and I'm going to book this session with Candace. I'm going to go downtown. I've already got my outfits laid out. I've got a little suitcase here ready to go because I am very indecisive and can't decide, so I'm just wearing like a t-shirt dress that I'm just gonna wear this downtown today, and then we will decide on which outfits are going to appear in our little shoot together when I get there. So we're just gonna do like a pretty basic makeup look today. Nothing too crazy. Obviously this isn't like a glam photo shoot or anything. We're not doing glow, we're not doing festival season, it's just me. But I'm looking very tired. So I just wanna, you know, accentuate some of my natural features, give myself a nice blush. I will be wearing a mask for a couple of points during the day, so I'm not gonna do any foundation just because I personally haven't tested the LYS foundation or the Typology against a mask. So I don't want to have to like redo everything. I'm bringing a whole little makeup bag with everything that I am putting on my face here this morning, just in case I need to do touch-ups, but you know, I don't want to have to mess around with foundation. So I am just going to go in on the spots that need attention with the Beauty Stay Woke concealer, and I'm wearing the shade T1 Honey Honey. And let's pin my bangs back. I don't think that I need to do anything on my forehead, but the brows will be getting, excuse me here, the brows will be getting soaked. Yeah, I'm just having like a time. I don't know if you would have been able to tell in my last couple of vlogs, which is all I've been filming lately. Yeah, my mental health just hasn't been great. I'm having a hard time. I'm having major like panic attacks, and I've been having like chronic allergies. And, you know, I touch my skin and I just break out in like hives and rashes everywhere, and it's really shit. And then when I get panic attacks, I've been like anxiety scratching. So yeah, you know, I've got this like hypersensitized skin, which I haven't been able to figure out yet. I did go to Emerge at one point, like a month ago now maybe, because I was just not feeling great, you know, like I had this like persistent lump in my throat. I'm getting these like full body hives for no obvious reason. Like I do have a lot of environmental and food allergies, but I also can't stop living my life, you know, like I'm not going to stop going outside, I'm not going to stop sitting in the grass, I'm not going to stop messing around in the gardens, but I need to be able to live my life. But even beyond those like specific environmental allergens, I cannot figure out why I'm getting these like full body hives, and the emergency doctor was like, yeah, it's just chronic allergies really, like you might want to go see an allergist to see if you can pinpoint what's going on a little bit further. But I would just recommend that you take Reactin, and at night take Reactin and Benadryl. I was like, cool. Cool, so that's just the state of the union then, I guess. Just allergies. I do have an appointment with my doctor, so, you know, of course I intend on investigating further, but it's just super stressful. And then when you have really bad anxiety and you're also getting like anxiety / panic attacks, obviously stress does crazy shit to your body. So it's all just like amplified. And so I like start to anxiously scratch. I'm not like breaking the skin. I'm just kind of like worrying especially around my knees. And if I'm on the phone, I really tend to do that. Like I'll be yammering away anxiously on the phone, and I'll start like kind of, again, I'm not digging into my skin. It's just like a light scratch kind of worrying thing. And then I look down and I've got massive rashes and like welts on my legs. So we're having a time, and I know that can be like super depressing and people really want to, you know, consume positive content, but that's just not real life sometimes. But anyways, the whole point of today is to bring myself some positivity, is to do something for myself that's going to bring some joy and creativity to my life, cash in this session that I have already paid for like well over a year ago. So I'm just really excited about that, and Candace is so sweet. I'm really excited to just be in a creative space with another female. Like, it's a safe space. It's not like I'm going to work with like some unknown male photographer. Like, this is someone whose work I follow closely, and who I trust, and who I think, because we've been following each other on social media and we chat often, I think we've got a good sense of, you know, each other's vibes and our aesthetics, and so I'm just really excited. I think it's just going to be a cute, fun time. I did not show you what I'm using, but it won't come as a surprise. It's actually not soap brow though. I'm back to using this little 35 milliliter travel size of the Got To Be Glued water resistant spiking glue. I have fallen back in love with this. For a while it was bothering me because I was doing the stupid thing and like squeezing it out on the top of my hand, then rubbing my spoolie into that and then pushing it through my brows, which was just stupid because, let's just see here, the travel size has this perfect size little hole in there, and the spoolie goes right in, and you do kind of have to wipe the edges, but it coats the spoolie perfectly that way. And I find this method versus doing it on my hand first results in a lot less like kind of crusty stuff around the eyebrows, like if it dries on your skin. So I have been really, really loving this again. And that's just a shout out to Alanna Davison, who I think got this from her friend Vanessa, or got the idea to use this for her friend Vanessa. It's just such an inexpensive solution to, you know, the brow that we all still really like. And I'm still not really putting any color products in. I think maybe we'll go back to that if I decide to grow my bangs out, but for now the bangs are staying. Okay, another thing I have been doing, is this one it? So you guys know that I've had a love affair for quite some time with the Danessa Myricks Vision Flush in Nutcracker, but I finally decided to open the Vision Flush in Toasted Almond, which I've had in a box, and I was just doing that thing where I'm like afraid to open up things that I own. I'm afraid to like use products that I have already because I don't know, it'll go bad and I won't get through it, but like how silly. It is an absolutely gorgeous brown color, and so I was using Nutcracker as kind of more of a contour color because it is significantly cooler in tone than Toasted Almond, but I've just been playing around with bronzers and I really like this as a bronzer. So we're going to use that today. And it also, the Vision Flush just has such a nice wear time, and it's not a finicky product. I'm just really, really, really enjoying this. And I've been putting this on my eyelids sometimes too for kind of like a monochromatic look. Doesn't that so attractive? And then, yeah, just buffing that into the skin. And it's so not fussy. Like, you don't have to be precious about it. And it wears really well. So like, if my mask does end up disturbing this, I'm going to take a couple brushes down with me too. Not necessarily because I'll need to reapply, but I can just kind of buff in whatever lines the masks create. I will also be, later in the afternoon / evening, we'll be going for a patio drink with this really lovely girl that I met when my sister and I went downtown, again, maybe a month ago now, to that, I think I told you guys that I took my sister to that Stop Old Growth Logging rally in Toronto, and she was one of the organizers for that rally, and we got to talking that day and just kind of connected on social media afterwards, and we're very aligned in a lot of our interests and professions in certain spaces, so decided to just actually have a conversation over a drink and, you know, make a connection. And honestly, my therapist will be so proud. She is constantly telling me to like find online groups and like meet up with people, and I think that's a perfectly fine suggestion, but also I have social anxieties. I don't like to, I don't know. I don't like to participate. I'm sorry, I'm very much an introvert. I'm very much a lone wolf. Participating is really challenging for me. It's not something that I really enjoy. It takes a lot out of me. It can be quite soul-sucking, and you know, there's a long recovery period on socializing sometimes, so I don't necessarily want to like join a group and be part of a group because I value my peace, man. Again, we're just going for kind of like a natural look, really nothing new. I am going to do what I've been doing kind of like on the daily in terms of eyes, which is pairing the Lily Lolo powder bronzer in Montego Bay, and that's going to go on like as a kind of eyeshadow, and then the Nude by Nature eyeshadow in Stone, which you guys know I've been loving along the lower lash line. That's kind of been the daily jam over here. It's just so simple, and once it's all like buffed out, it doesn't look like I'm trying too hard. It's just a very subtle way to kind of bring those bronzy colors and a little bit of definition to my face. So yeah, just kind of, let me just circle back to the mental health thing. I definitely have ebbs and flows to my mental health. Sometimes I'm like, really, I'm doing great. And then sometimes, and a lot of this has to do with self-sabotage. I'm very self-aware about that kind of thing. But you know, sometimes you just sink. And, you know, I also suffer from climate anxiety. We know that I'm very like tapped into a lot of those activist spaces. And a lot of that stuff can really just fuck me up. And I do get told often, you know, just shut her down. Stop looking at the internet. Stop looking at the media. And I do believe I said this, like, nature can't just turn us off. So it's a little bit audacious to, in my personal opinion, to just be like, well, why don't we just turn the internet off and stop looking at what's happening to the world? Even though, you know, if we're in more Western society, like, hi, our countries are kind of at the root cause of all of the bad shit that's happening. I just never want to be ignorant about what's happening in the world. You know, I want to be tapped in. I want to know, and there's a cost associated with that. There is absolutely a cost, and often that cost is my mental health and my well-being and my happiness. So yeah, but also there's a self-sabotage aspect to that often, and if you watched my last gaming video, I like sort of touched on it, that I like got some courage and reached out to an individual, extended a little invitation, and even though it was expected to not receive a response, I didn't receive a response and it hurt, so that kind of bummed me out. I'm just putting a little bit of gloss on my lips because they feel uncomfortable. And that's the Kosas Wet Lip Oil, which is just absolutely the best. This is Jellyfish. Can you see how much I've used that? This is another one of those products that I've had for a while, but I'm like so afraid to finish it because it's just, these things are precious to me. Yes, I could repurchase, and yes, if I finished this and I didn't have any other glosses that I want or that I loved as much as this one, that would fall within my no-buy parameters to repurchase, but these are also wonderful glosses. I think the Kosas Wet Lip Oil and the Tower 28 lip glosses are just my number 1 and 2. Maybe they even share that spot. Excuse me. Oh gosh. The allergies have been so bad. Excuse me. We're gonna have to just like wait for this to pass because I cannot put mascara on when the eyes are watering. I took a Reactin this morning at 5 a.m. I don't know what is happening, y'all. But again, my body's just having a specific time. I think once my eyes chill out and stop watering, just for a little extra zhuzh. Okay, the cat was demanding re-entry. She's been very finicky lately. I think she knows the dog's coming home. I am doing a little bit of extra something on my eyelids just because I am going to a photo shoot. So I've taken out the, what is this called? The e.l.f. Liquid Metallic Eyeshadow. I used this once before, but I don't think at that point I told you guys what color this is. This is the shade Galaxy. And I really do like this. It's also just so precious. I really like how this feels. It's teeny. Here's again the Kosas Wet Lip Oil for scale. So it is a tiny little thing. And I'll do a swatch of this for you guys, just so you can see before I put it on my eyelids. But like I said the first time that I gave this a try, it's a very dynamic shade. I think that's probably why they named it Galaxy, because it's got like a brown but a copper, but also like almost a purple tone to it as well. I really, really like it. But then if you shear it out, like it just kind of becomes this really nice, sheeny thing, which is honestly, it's just, that's a lot of flexibility in one liquid eyeshadow. So I like it. But yeah, I thought it would be nice to just kind of do something a little extra on the eyelids that, maybe I'll just use my finger, whatever. That kind of has a little bit of a grungy feel to it. I have been watching a lot of Hannah Louise Poston lately. And she always has, not always, but often, she's just got these like gorgeous kind of grungy eye looks. And I love that. She's just such a beautiful woman. And I really appreciate her makeup style. And I want to be more like fearless with kind of a grungier eye look. So, you know, call that inspo. And I'm sorry that I'm not zooming you in further, but honestly, I don't think you need to be any closer to me today. Not with what's going on with my under eyes and my tired body. Speaking of my body though, and just, you know, things, my bruises are healing from the whole male cat fiasco. So hooray, there are good things in the world. Healing bruises. The one on my hip, which I did neglect to show you guys, and you really didn't need to see it. It went, speaking of galaxy, it turned into a galaxy. It had a galactic moment. And in that moment I was like, wow, bodies are beautiful. Even an injury can be beautiful. Look at that. I was about to say we're turning lemons into lemonade, but I have an issue with that little phrase because I love a lemon without the sugar. So like, give me all of the lemons. And the universe does. The universe answers that for me. Okay, what do you think? I think that's enough. I might add in a little bit of an eyeliner, but I'm gonna do mascara first because that's just how I am. Before I go in with my mascara, I'm just gonna do some little brush touch-ups. So I'm using the Bite Beauty, what is this called? Changemaker Flexible Coverage Press Powder. I've used this a couple times on my channel too. I have the color medium 2. It's a fine powder. I have been using this often. I only have a couple of powders in my collection. I'm not really a powder person, but in watching my videos back, I've noticed that I get like really, there's like a glow on the inner parts of my eyes because I don't necessarily have puffy under eyes. I have like this sunken under eye, and it just can be very distracting because it gets super glowy in there, and I don't really powder my under eyes. So I have just been trying to lightly dust in those spaces lately to kind of pull light away. I don't want to really emphasize the fact that I have sinking eye sockets, you know. Thank you. Okay, so my eyes have stopped watering. Knock on wood, that's bamboo, I don't know if it counts, that's wood. But I am going to, I think, pull a Julia Adams and insert a little lash intermission, and I'm gonna go do my lashes, and then I will see you back here in a couple seconds. Okay, we're back. The bangs are down. I will be doing something with my hair a little bit. Went to bed with it a little bit damp last night. It did not do the cute thing I was expecting it to, so I'm gonna have to do some touch-ups with, I think, a little curling wand before I leave the house, but the mascara is done. I will show you, though, what mascara I have been using because since we last did makeup together, the mascara game has changed. My Bite Beauty mascara moved into the Beyond. Maybe I did talk about this, I can't remember, but now I'm using Essence What the Fake Volumizing and Lengthening Mascara. And honestly, it's quite pretty, but I am the kind of person that will just coat and coat and coat. I am not a one coat and go unless I'm literally just looking for something to vaguely give myself a lift. But I do really notice that this one transfers a lot on the lower lashes. And this one also, like, I find I have quite a hard time with the application. Like, it's just messy for me for some reason. I don't know if it's the brush shape. It's not like an aggressive brush at all. It's quite thin, but for whatever reason, this one tends to get everywhere. So a clean, fiber spoolie is always necessary for me because I always have to go in and kind of like scrape it off at the end. But I do notice that it really transfers on the under eye quite a lot. So again, the spoolie is necessary to just kind of rub those off. And I don't know if it's just like the fiber is kind of falling down. It's not like I get raccoon eyes. It's just like I get little dots. My bottom lashes are quite long. Again, I kind of do sometimes what Alanna Davison does, and just like after I've finished applying mascara, I just like run my fingertips along the edges to kind of wipe off anything right on the tip, so when my eyelashes do touch my under eye skin, they're not depositing color. But if that happens, it's fine. That I can usually like dust that off with a brush, or again, a clean little fiber spoolie. Just something to note, you know, because no one really likes to have mascara transfer. It's just not a good time. And my upper lashes, they're not short, but they're also not curly. Like they're not curly enough to like really whack me in the top of the eye. So that's not so much a concern. It's really just the bottom lashes. Now for blush, again, nothing new. I have been using this almost every single day again. The Rituel de Fille Color Nectar Pigment Balm in Glasswing, which looks always so deep and intimidating in the pan, but when you apply it to the skin, it's just this beautiful like popsicle stain shade. I really love it so much, and I've actually been applying this more with my fingers lately than I have been with the brush. At least first application is finger, and then I'll buff out. I've loaded up my fingy there, and we're gonna go to the cheeks. And the only issue with doing that is that it gets on the tip of my finger and then deposits into my under eye, which is not particularly the location that we want, you know? But again, honestly, if I have to wear a mask into the building where the studio is, we will have a very noticeable line from the mask, so this will all need a touch-up. But also, maybe you notice that I'm applying my blush slightly differently than I have been recently. I'm going more up versus in. I'm still going to do the nose, obviously. Just really applying the blush exactly where the mask is going to go. But it won't take me long to kind of clean this up afterwards. And then just go in with the brush. And I might just kind of leave it there and then go in a little heavier once I'm actually in the studio. Again, because I am anticipating some wear off as a result of the mask. And then I think for lips, I'm going to use my Bite Beauty Yeasayer Plumping Lip Gloss. Speaking of Bite, I'm sure you guys have seen this already if you're, you know, an avid watcher of YouTube and especially in the beauty space, but Bite finally came back with their lipsticks, which means that some of the original lipsticks I have, obviously they've reformulated, but like maybe I can use those again without feeling too badly for using a product that is discontinued. Hopefully they come back with the multi-stick. I hope that that's next in the rotation for a relaunch, because the multi-sticks were absolutely out of this world. Honestly, Bite is, I think, going back to what they are good at, which is not really complexion products. No offense, like this powder is fine. I have absolutely no desire to use their foundation or their primers. Like we all fell in love with Bite because of their lip products. And I do really like actually the Yeasayer lip gloss. And this is Cinnamon Twist. Obviously, I have used it. I still don't really know how I feel about this component. It twists up and you get that nice like juicy kind of little bubble. And yeah, cinnamon twist, not cider donut. So it's a little bit more on the like brown, bronzy side, but I think that's such a pretty lip. And I really like the cinnamon. I like the taste. I like the scent. It's really lovely. And I think we all maybe thought that this like applicator here was going to be more of like a soft silicone, but it's not. It's like, it doesn't give when you press down on it. Like it's just kind of hard plastic. So I find that a little weird. It's not the most comfortable application, but you know, I appreciate that Bite is trying to be innovative. And I like this formula. I like the shades. It's definitely a product that I will continue to use and likely repurchase. Just the component itself, not sure if I love. I like though that I can see how much product I've used. However, and we are going to get into this eventually, I will be doing an empties soon. This is not going to be recyclable at all. This will end up straight into the landfill, which I have a hard time with. There is nothing, like you can't, I don't think you can take this apart. So there's no way to like even break down this packaging and try to recycle this part. But even if you could, depending on your municipality, some municipalities don't take a certain size plastic, even if it is clear, technically recyclable plastic. So I don't think my specific municipality will accept this size. Again, a conversation for my empties video when that does eventually happen, but just something to keep in mind if you are, you know, environmentally conscious and mindful of the end of life of the beauty products you're using. Just always something that plays on the back of my mind as I'm going through products, especially the ones that I really love. And I've said this before, the Ritual Define products all come in this very beautiful, very sleek black packaging, but it's black plastic, and black plastic in my municipality at least is not recyclable. So this is straight to landfill once it's done. Unless maybe I get a TerraCycle box, that's something I'm considering, but that's an expense. Again, conversation for another video. But for now, this is the makeup look. Like I said, I'm going to go do some sort of touch up on my hair. I'm gonna throw all my shit in my suitcase, and then I gotta hit the road soon. I have about maybe an hour and a half before I need to leave, but I just kind of want to tidy up because when I'm downtown, my mom will be arriving home and she has a lot of stuff to unpack, so I want to make sure that things are the least chaotic as possible for her arrival, just because I know she's got a lot of stuff to do when she does get back. I'm going to be bringing my camera and my phone with me, so I will try to maybe get a couple of little behind the scenes in the studio today, and I will include that in this video. Depending on when I get the photos, maybe I'll insert some of those into this video as well, just so that you guys can see kind of the end result. If I don't get a chance to do that before I want to publish this video, obviously just make sure that you're following me on Instagram, because those images will definitely be on my Instagram. I'm so excited. enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please be sure to give me a big thumbs up down below. And if you aren't already subscribed, I would love to have you. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. And obviously, if you want to get notifications every time I upload a new video, be sure to hit that notification bell down below as well. All right, without further ado, I will see you in my next one.